Hello, Eileen, and hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. Eileen, I would like to ask you to relate to what we are doing here. We made an announcement, we explained a little bit yesterday, but from what we are discussing before making this seance, before making this homeopathic meditations, we don't know how to claim it. What is the name for what we are doing? Yeah, um, yeah. I would like you to relate to what's going on, what we are doing.
Well, it was kind of a brainstorm between you and me. We were both distraught about what had happened to Israel. And I think we were both casting around for something to help us do something instead of feeling so helpless. That you and I came up with the idea, mainly because of me, because I was in the 1988 harmonic convergence. And if there's too many people out there that are too young to remember it, just Google 1988 harmonic convergence and you'll get a whole bunch of information. So I don't have to talk too much here. So I took that foundational template, which was to get all the people who wanted to pray or meditate for peace in the world in 1988 and at one time, the same time around the globe, no matter what country that you lived in. And so I was in Sedona, Arizona. I think it was around 4 a.m. in the morning that we had to be in this little theater with 150 people packed into it. And the meditation began, and I could tell you, I have never felt such an impact, a wave of incredible love just flowing everywhere. And it was just astounding. This is with 1 million people around the world. So to make it short, I told Roman about it, and we started brainstorming. And he said, well, we need something to visualize. I said, right. And then I thought, no, we better ground ourselves first, because if you don't ground yourself, you can't send the energy. It will not arrive like it could. So we both tinkered around with words and sentences back and forth, and we finally came up with what we have. Now, the idea here is Roman wanted a homeopathic remedy given to the entire area. And I agreed with him. And so because of my background, I'm a firefighter EMT. I'm too old to do it now, but believe me, when I was in my prime, I was damn good at it. And I saw a lot of trauma. I saw a lot of shock. I won't get into the gory details, but I started sending out mental telepathy wise, whether you want to believe it or not, I don't care. I began sending out if somebody needed Aconite, and then you had people that were just sitting there stunned, and you go over and you try and touch them and they pull away. And then you say, can I help you? Where are you hurt? They say, I'm all right, which is a big arnica kind of thing to say, is I'm all right, go to the next person. Or you had people who were in grief. And so I had Ignatia Amara. And so those were the Aconite, the arnica, and the Ignatia were the three that I would send to people at accident sites just to get them out of that shock, because shock can kill, and shock also drops the blood pressure to the point to where you can die. So I was busy doing that while doing my other stuff, but nobody ever knew about it until just now. And so I wanted to use those three remedies first. And what we're doing in this first 7 days, we're working only with Aconitum napellus, which is the major shock remedy, and it's a deep acting remedy. It's the best that I've ever seen. And I've used a lot of trauma remedies, but Aconite to me is queen of the dome. So I talked to Roman about doing something along the line of, let's do 7 days, because the number 7 is a very sacred number in numerology, but it's also, right, Roman, it's a sacred number to the Jewish people.
Yes. And
Okay.
not only to Jewish people, to all religions, all our culture on seven.
Right.
7 days in a week and 7 colors in a spectrum, and everything is 7.
Right. So I thought, well, I talked to Roman about this. I said, why not try, let's do 7 days, because, 7 in numerology, which is what I follow, it's the most sacred, the highest spiritual number that we have of the 9. And so he thought that was fine. And then I said, well, why don't we then let's start out, I wanted to start out with an Aconite napellus 50M, and poor Roman about fell off his chair. He goes, no, you can't do that. He says, homeopaths in Israel only do 30C and up to 200C. And I said, okay.
Oh, no. Israeli homeopaths use 10M and if necessary 50M. And I have to tell you one very important thing. I think, and we have a lot of cases, and many of my colleagues are working days and nights, and a lot of cases, maybe even most of the cases, they are Aconite. They are Aconite.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Believe me, I've been out of scenes that look as bad almost as what you've got in Israel right now at its monstrous worst. And Aconite will snap a person out of it. And the biggest reason is to get their blood pressure up. I mean, people die of heart attacks and everything else because of shock. So to me, this is the best shock remedy in the world. And I just won't change my mind about it and not stop using it. But anyway, I suggested to Roman that we start out, because he was just talking about the 30C and 200C. I said, okay, how about if we start out with day 1, we'll do Aconitum, napellus 200C. Then we'll go up to 1M, 10M, 25M, 50M, MM, CM, and that'll do it for the 7 days. Then we can go to the second one, okay, and we can do the same thing, and then the third one. That was my plan for it.
And this is very important point. Of course, this is a voluntary project, and
Yes.
it's even not project. I don't know. Maybe it's good that we don't have a name for it, and that's why it is not so restricted. But what we are doing here, it's very similar to just simple homeopathic case. In a simple homeopathic case, if you have case of shock and trauma, but probably mostly prominent feature of this case is shock, you give Aconite, and you give Aconite till the point where Aconite is not working. But till then, you just go with Aconite. You don't change something which is working, which is needed, which is so necessary, which is so helpful. And I saw quite cases of Aconite, but what I see now, last days, it is needed even to people who are saying, we are okay, Yesterday evening, I have a case, somebody just called me and asked, can I help her daughter? I asked what happened, and it was a clear case of Aconite. And then I asked herself what's going on, and she said, I'm quite stressed, and I gave her Aconite. And one day before, one family, I just had a regular case with a follow-up, and it cleared up that the father is stressed and the mother is stressed, and they're not talking about it. It was just after my questionnaire, my request to tell me what's going on. They said, as usual, maybe as everybody now, maybe a little bit stressed. I talked to them, and they gave to everybody in this family Aconite, and they received next morning from everybody different answers, but answers where I had a sleep first time in 3 days, and she didn't complain about something wrong with her sleep. And the father said, I feel much better and much less stressed. And the daughter said that she's not so tensed. And so improvement was different, but the remedy was the same, and the state is the same. And the state, in general, in this region, I believe it's an Aconite, and what we are doing, we will see results. I already receive many answers from participants, very interesting answers. We are registering them. By the way, I would like to ask everybody, if you don't mind, please send us what you felt after first, second, third session. How do you like it, or what do you feel during? It's very important. We are creating the field of healing, the healing field. Okay.
Okay, I have a title for what we do, Roman. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. Are you strapped in?
Yeah.
Okay. How about an act of love and healing?
I love it very much.
Yeah, because it's both. Everybody that's here is here out of pure, unadulterated love. They're not here because of ego. They're not here because they want to be seen with the right people. They are here because they are homeopaths with a heart, and both start with an H. And that's why I'm here, and I love being with all of you. So
great.
back
And
to you.
I would like just to share with you what I wrote yesterday. I remember it. I don't need to. You know, I wrote a quote that the hate always has an address, and love has no address.
I love that.
Love is everywhere.
That's
And
right.
where we are sending love, where love has to be, it will be there. And the act of love and healing, I think, is very good name.
Right.
We finally found it.
I have one more thing. We were talking yesterday about the darkness and the light, and how sending love, the white light that is in our auras, when we send that energy and visualize this particular remedy, the light literally dissolves the darkness. And you can also, it's just simply love by itself. Even if you can't visualize, okay, you can feel warmth coming out of your heart, and you can feel that warmth moving to the Middle East that is just so torn up now, and just see it like, you know, like maybe a strawberry syrup over a sundae, okay, so to speak. But the pink, the color, the love that comes from your heart, you don't have to visualize to make this work. So there's two different processes here. And if you can visualize, that's fine. If not, just feel the warmth in your heart and see it sended and going over Israel and Palestine.
Maybe one more word, really, the last one. People
What a bet.
People said that there are so many different meditation groups, and they are doing like sending many remedies together, and some of them are sending just love, and we know these groups, and I would like to stress, this is a group for the act of love and healing based on homeopathic principles. We know what we are going to do, what we are going to send, and we know our instruments, and we know that after simillimum or a good homeopathic remedy, pieces of soul are coming back to the person, to the and then we have much more light in this world. So that's what we are doing with our homeopathic remedies. That's what we are doing with our small project?
Well, we might be small, but we're mighty. And I think that doing one, first of all, judging by the communities that are involved and how they look, I mean, you can see it in the film, they're clearly in shock. And I think after the 7 days, what I want to be doing is watching the faces and expressions and the body language for the second part, which is arnica, because it's been again, this is the wars that I've been through. It takes, after the initial Aconitum napellus, and I always hit them with a 50M because nothing else is going to tear it out of there like that well. And it'll quiet them down within minutes. And sometimes they're so far out of their mind, you can't talk to them, you can't reason with them. They just aren't there. They're out of their bodies. And that aconite brings you back in and grounds you. So there's lots of different reasons for it. But by the second week, I go back out. When I was a firefighter, I would visit the people whose house burned down. We would go out and see them. We would talk with them. I would note their expressions, what they were saying, their body language. And almost always it was Arnica montana. It was like, oh, we're fine now. We're doing okay. And that's so typical of Arnica. So that's when I give them a dose of Arnica 50M. And then the third week, you go out there again, and you might see the mother sitting on the ground crying, or you'll see somebody holding a dog and they won't let it go, and they're just clinging to it. That's when I give Ignatia Amara 50M. And that's exactly the template that we are following here. We're doing something very different from everybody else, okay? This is based on absolute experience.
Let us do it.
Okay. Alrighty. So first of all, I'm glad everyone's here. I love you very much. And I thank all of you from my heart to your heart for being a part of this act of love and healing. I want you now to go to a quiet place where you will not be interrupted. And the first thing we're going to do is our grounding exercise. I want you to sit comfortably in a chair, feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes. Next, I want you to take 3 deep breaths into your nose and release each of them gently through your mouth. And we're going to do that right now. In your mind, I want you to visualize 2 beautiful silver tree roots, gently twining around each of your ankles 2 or 3 times. It is not tight or painful sensations, rather warm and comforting. Then I want you to see the point of each one move downward through the center of each of your feet. There will be no pain, no discomfort from this. And see the roots go 3 meters deep into Mother Earth. You are now grounded, and we're ready to begin our healing. And your legs may feel a little heavier than normal, and this is normal. I want you in your mind to visualize a protective golden dome of light around the war-torn areas. Feel your heart opening. Feel the warmth. Your love flowing outward toward that whole area. Your need to help and see the remedy, Aconitum napellus, 25M, flowing from your heart, filled with love and being sent into the golden dome and falling like millions upon millions of gentle, comforting, loving raindrops, showering down upon the populace everywhere, and the people absorbing the remedy into their aura. Once you have done that, take a deep breath in your nose and out your mouth. and then open your eyes, and it is finished. We will do this for 7 days in a row, same time in your country. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.
Tomorrow we will see you
Okay.
3:30 p.m. This is the only exceptional day. Tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. According to what was wrote in our announcement. Thank you very much. Thank you, Eileen. See you tomorrow. Eileen, please check your email.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.